Imagine living every day at the mercy of others. One wrong step, and they can forgive you or destroy you. Sounds terrifying, doesn't it? Yet this is exactly the trap most people walk into without realizing it. They depend on the kindness of others. They survive on favors, forgiveness, and pity. But here's the catch. Mercy is not what you think it is. Machiavelli, the master of power, warned us centuries ago that mercy is a double-edged sword. It looks noble, it feels safe, but in reality it is a chain. And if you live on someone else's mercy, you are not living your own life. You are living theirs. Most people will tell you that mercy makes you good, that it wins love, that it creates peace. But Machiavelli saw the darker truth. He studied rulers, generals, and entire nations, and he discovered that mercy, when used wrongly, does not bring peace at all. It breeds disorder, betrayal, and collapse. Leaders who wanted to be merciful, who wanted to be loved, often lost everything. Their mercy was not protection. It was the spark that burned their kingdoms to the ground. Machiavelli wrote about this with brutal clarity. He explained that mercy can be either nominal or effectual. Nominal mercy is when a ruler forgives or spares simply to look kind, but the result is more chaos. Effectual mercy, on the other hand, often looks cruel at first, but in the long run it prevents far greater suffering. A harsh decision made once can restore order for years, while misplaced kindness only multiplies harm. He gave the example of Cesare Borgia, a man he both feared and admired. Borgia faced a lawless region, where crime and corruption ruled. Instead of showering mercy on criminals, he sent his lieutenant, Ramiro de Orco, to crush the disorder with ruthless force. People hated Ramiro for his cruelty, but then Borgia executed him in public, shocking the people and winning their loyalty. One calculated act of cruelty created stability and even earned Borgia respect. That was effectual mercy, the kind Machiavelli believed actually worked. Now ask yourself this: how many times have you forgiven someone who didn't deserve it? How many times have you shown mercy, only to be taken advantage of again? Did your kindness earn respect, or did it invite more disrespect? This is the question Machiavelli forces us to face. Mercy is not about your feelings. Mercy is about results. And if the results of your mercy are chaos, betrayal, and weakness, then what you gave was not mercy at all. It was permission to be abused. Here's the darkest truth of all. If you live by someone else's mercy, you will always be at the edge of their cruelty. The same hand that spares you today can crush you tomorrow. If your survival depends on another's kindness, you are not free. You are owned. This is why Machiavelli argued it is safer to be feared than loved. Not because fear is better than affection, but because fear creates respect, and respect is the foundation of power. In this video, you are going to uncover the hidden side of mercy. You will learn why mercy, when misplaced, is worse than cruelty. You will see how acts of cruelty done with precision can be more merciful in the long run than endless forgiveness. And you will understand how this lesson doesn't just belong to kings and princes of the past. It belongs to you, today, in your work, in your relationships, in the choices you make. Stay with me until the very end, because what you're about to learn will flip your view of kindness upside down. Once you see it, you will never look at mercy the same way again. This is Psych Algorithm. Welcome. And before we begin, make sure you subscribe, because here you will find not illusions of goodness, but the hidden truths of power, respect, and survival. Before we talk about the beauty of mercy, we need to strip away the illusions that surround it. Mercy is a word that has been polished over centuries, painted in colors of compassion, forgiveness, and kindness. It sounds pure. It feels noble. Entire religions, entire cultures celebrate mercy as a divine gift, as the highest virtue. But when Machiavelli examined the world of rulers, power, and survival, he saw something most people miss. Mercy is not just kindness. Mercy is power, and more dangerously, it is a kind of power that always flows one way. Think about it. When someone spares you, when they forgive your mistake, when they allow you to remain safe, what actually happened? You did not save yourself. You were saved by them. Your survival is no longer in your own hands. It depends on their decision, their mood, their choice. This means that mercy is not freedom. It is control. And whoever grants it to you holds you like a chain around your neck. Machiavelli saw rulers who built their image on being merciful. They pardoned rebels. They forgave criminals. They promised peace. To the people it looked like goodness, but beneath the surface, it was weakness. Because when your authority rests on your willingness to forgive, others learn that they can push your limits without fear of real punishment. Mercy, instead of binding people to loyalty, invites them to test you again and again. And the moment mercy becomes predictable, it stops being a gift and starts being a leash. Now turn this around. Imagine yourself not as the one giving mercy, but as the one receiving it. You made a mistake at work, and your boss forgives you. You failed someone in your life, and they decide to let it go. You feel grateful, maybe even relieved. But deep inside, something else has happened. You are now indebted. You are reminded that your safety, your position, your place exists because someone allowed it. They didn't have to forgive you. They didn't have to show mercy. And because of that, you owe them. You stand in their shadow. Machiavelli knew this debt is not light. It shapes behavior. People who live by mercy often act differently. They are careful, hesitant, submissive. They cannot afford to displease the one who spares them. They must remain acceptable, and that means they are never truly free. Mercy creates a silent prison. The bars are invisible, but the control is absolute. Look at history. Rome, at times, spared its defeated enemy. Sometimes this act of mercy created allies, but more often it sowed seeds of rebellion. A conquered people who are spared too lightly believe they can rise again, because the punishment was not severe. Mercy did not control them. It encouraged, and when the rebellion came, it was bloodier than before. This is the danger Machiavelli saw. When mercy is given, it binds the one who receives it, but it can also weaken the one who grants it. If the mercy is not calculated, it becomes an invitation for disaster. In your own life, the same rule applies. When you survive only because someone lets you, you live at their mercy. You wait for their judgment. You fear their anger. You measure your steps by their tolerance. That is not freedom. That is dependence disguised as kindness. And the more you rely on it, the more power you hand over. Think about relationships where one person constantly forgives, constantly spares, constantly says, "It's okay." The other person learns they can get away with more. The cycle repeats until respect vanishes completely. Mercy, in this sense, does not create closeness. It creates control. The one forgiving holds the power. The one forgiving holds the chain. Machiavelli understood that mercy is not evil by itself, but he also knew that mercy is never neutral. It is always a transaction, always an exchange of power. The giver of mercy stands above, receiver kneels below. That is why he warned rulers, be careful with mercy. It can either strengthen your grip on power or loosen it entirely. So before we talk about mercy as a virtue, we must understand it as an instrument. Whoever has the power to give it also has the power to take it away. And the one who lives on mercy, no matter how grateful, is never free. They are always a prisoner of another person's choice. Machiavelli studied rulers, generals, and men of power with a ruthless eye. He was not interested in their appearances, their speeches, or the noble image they painted for their people. He was interested in results. What kept a state strong, what destroyed it, what made men loyal, and what made them rebel. Through years of watching victories and collapses, he uncovered a truth that many still deny. Mercy, when misused, does not save a nation. It destroys it. Mercy is never stable. One day it can rescue you, but the next day it can betray you. It changes with the winds of circumstance, with the moods of the powerful, with the needs of the moment. Mercy is not a foundation you can build on. It is shifting sand. Think of a ruler who rests his authority on being merciful. At first the people cheer. They admire his kindness. They compare him to harsher rulers and feel grateful. But what happens next? When a criminal knows he will be forgiven, does he stop committing crimes, or does he grow bold? When a rival knows he will be spared, does he become loyal, or does he plan another revolt, confident he will be spared again? Machiavelli saw time and again that mercy encourages the boldest acts of betrayal. Because if people believe you will not punish, then your mercy is a shield for their rebellion. A ruler who relies on being merciful becomes weak without even realizing it. His reputation spreads, but not as he imagines. Instead of being known as just or wise, he becomes known as soft. His subjects whisper, "He will forgive, he will not strike." And once that belief takes root, the throne itself begins to shake. For what is power, if no one fears the consequence of disobedience? Now bring this same idea down from rulers and nations into the life of one individual. A person who relies on mercy ends up being used. Mercy from others feels like safety. It feels like a cushion to protect you from harm. But in reality, it is a trap. The more you rely on others to spare you, the less you control your own life. If you are always waiting for forgiveness, for leniency, for a second chance, then your power is in their hands, not yours. Mercy makes you believe you are secure, but it only makes you dependent. Living off mercy feels safe on the surface. You tell yourself, they will protect me, they will forgive me. That thought is comforting. But deep inside, it keeps you small. It shrinks your strength. It makes you hesitant, waiting always for the decisions of others. Dependency may feel like security, but in truth, it is a chain, and dependency always kills respect. Respect is born when you stand on your own, when you show that you can survive without leaning on another's kindness. But when your survival depends on someone's mercy, they no longer respect you. They may keep you close. They may continue to forgive. They may even smile and speak kindly, but their respect is gone. And once respect dies, what replaces it is pity. Pity feels like care, but it is poison. When people pity you, they see you as weaker, smaller, less capable. They may spare you because they feel sorry for you, but pity does not incite loyalty. Pity does not command respect. Pity is not power. It is the opposite of power. It is the mark of one who cannot stand alone. History is full of examples where mercy flips without warning. A ruler pardons his enemies today, and the same enemies rise against him tomorrow. An ally forgives a mistake once, then uses that forgiveness as leverage the next time. A people are spared, only to grow restless and violent because they see their ruler as too gentle to punish them. All it takes is one mistake, one miscalculation, one bad day, and the mercy that once seemed like a shield becomes a sword against you. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. That is why he said, "It is safer to be feared than loved." He did not mean terrorize your people until they tremble at your presence. He did not mean rule by cruelty alone. He meant that respect born of caution is more reliable than affection born of mercy. Love changes. Mercy changes. Fear, when built on respect, fear in Machiavelli's sense, is not blind terror. It is not sadism or cruelty for cruelty's sake. Fear means respect. It means people think twice before crossing you. It means they weigh the consequences before testing your limits. This kind of fear is steady. It anchors authority. People may not always adore you, but they will not underestimate you. Mercy, when begged for, only brings pity. A man who falls at another's feet, pleading for forgiveness, may win temporary safety, but he has lost everything else. He has lost his dignity. He has lost his respect. He has lost his standing. People may spare him in that moment, but they will never see him as their equal again. Begged for mercy is not strength. It is submission disguised as survival, and pity never lasts. It withers as soon as circumstances change. Respect, however, is power. Respect can carry you through storms that mercy cannot. Respect makes others hesitate, makes them measure their words and their actions in your presence. Respect earns you loyalty not because people feel sorry for you, but because they know who you are, what you stand for, and what happens if they betray it. Respect is steady. Pity is fragile. Respect is a shield. Mercy is a leash. Machiavelli's warning was simple but brutal. Mercy is never reliable. If you build your life, your rule, or your relationships on the expectation of mercy, you are building on nothing. It can vanish in an instant, and when it does, you will be left defenseless. Power, respect, fear, these are solid. They endure. But mercy, as he saw again and again, flips without warning. It destroys those who rely on it, and pity, the shadow it casts, destroys those who seek it. That is why he taught, safer to be feared than loved. Not because fear is crueler, but because fear builds respect. And respect is the only form of power that does not dissolve the moment mercy is uttered. So what's the lesson here? It is simpler than it seems, and yet most people never learn it. Stop waiting for people to be merciful. Stop depending on their kindness to keep you afloat. Bigness is fragile. It bends and breaks with mood, with time, with circumstances. If your life is tied to that, then your life is tied to something that does not belong to you. That is not freedom, it is submission. Instead, you must build your own sovereignty. Build boundaries that cannot be crossed without consequence. Build a strength that does not vanish when the mood of another shifts. Mercy may look like security, but the truth is, only your own power is security. Sovereignty begins within. It is not about ruling others, but about ruling yourself. Can you govern your impulses, your fears, your cravings for approval? Can you stand when no one stands with you? Can you walk away from the comfort of someone else's pity and claim the harder, colder path of independence? Machiavelli would say that sovereignty starts with this choice, to depend not on mercy, but on strength. To anchor your life in what you control, not what you beg for. Your boundaries are part of this sovereignty. Boundaries are the invisible walls that tell the world, this far, no further. They are the lines you draw so that others know where your power begins. Without boundaries, you are exposed. You are a land with no walls, waiting for invasion. People will test you, and if they find no resistance, they will use you. A man with boundaries, however, cannot be toyed with. People think twice before pushing him. Not because he is cruel, but because he is firm. Strength itself is the deeper core. Strength does not mean physical force alone, though that has its place. It means the strength of mind, the clarity of will, the ability to endure hardship without collapsing. It is being someone who can stand in the storm without waiting for another's umbrella. Strength means that when mercy is withdrawn, you do not crumble, because you never depended on it in the first place. This is where firmness over softness becomes critical. Machiavelli never argued that mercy was useless. He never said to strip it from your heart completely. What he warned was this: mercy must never be your foundation. Use mercy, yes, but use it wisely. Use it from a place of power, not from a place of weakness. Mercy, when wielded as a choice, is a tool. It can win allies. It can calm enemies. It can create loyalty. But notice the difference. Mercy, given from power, strengthens you. Mercy, for weakens you. If you forgive because you can, then your mercy is a demonstration of strength. But if you forgive because you are too afraid to be firm, then your mercy is an admission of weakness. People see this difference instantly, even if they never say it aloud. Firmness is the foundation of respect. People respect those who do not bend easily. They respect those who stand for themselves, even if they disagree with them. Firmness signals that you cannot be played with, that your kindness is not weakness. Softness without strength, on the other hand, invites exploitation. People do not admire it. They exploit it. They sense it. They push, and they push again, until the soft soul is broken. Protecting yourself is the heart of Machiavelli's wisdom. Do not expect protection from others. Build it yourself. Do not expect the world to shield you out of compassion. Shield yourself out of strength. The one who waits for mercy is a victim in waiting. The one who builds power is untouchable. When you choose mercy, let it be deliberate. Let it be measured. Let it be a demonstration that you had the power to punish, but chose not to. That kind of mercy inspires gratitude, and even fear. But people know you had another choice. But if you are merciful because you cannot bring yourself to be firm, then people will see it not as kindness, but as weakness. And weakness never commands respect. This is the dark lesson. Mercy can save you, but it can also destroy you. If you live by it, you will always be at the mercy of others. This is not just about rulers and nations. It is about every person who waits for others to forgive them, to accept them, to spare them. It is about every worker who fears losing favor, every friend who fears rejection, every partner who fears abandonment. The one who waits for mercy is always chained. Machiavelli saw mercy destroy rulers because it taught their enemies boldness. But on a personal level, mercy destroys individuals by teaching them dependence. If you live only by the kindness of others, you are not free. You are a servant, even if no one calls you that. So stop living in their mercy. Do not build your life on something that belongs to someone else. Build it on respect, on strength, on sovereignty. Choose respect over pity, because respect lasts, and pity rots. Choose power over weakness, because power protects and weakness betrays. Choose your own path, because if you do not, you will be walking the path that someone else drew for you, and you will be walking it only as long as they allow it. The one who depends on mercy is like a man in chains, grateful that the jailer has not yet locked the door. But the one who builds his own power is like a man who holds the key in his own hands. One waits for permission. The other creates freedom. One is tolerated. The other is respected. This is the essence of Machiavelli's dark lesson. Mercy, when it is yours to give, can be noble. Mercy, when it is theirs to grant, becomes your cage. Build your own sovereignty so that you never live in chains. Use firmness over softness, so that you are respected, not pitied. And when you choose mercy, let it be your decision, not your survival. For mercy, when chosen from strength, becomes power. But mercy, when depended on, becomes slavery. So what is left? A choice. You cannot escape mercy entirely, but you can decide which side of it you will stand on. Will you be the one who waits for it, weak and dependent, or will you be the one who controls it, firm and respected? That choice determines whether mercy saves you or destroys you. That choice determines whether you live as sovereign or as servant. Mercy is not freedom. Mercy is dependence, and dependence kills power. Machiavelli understood this, and that is why his words still echo centuries later. He was not teaching us to be cruel for cruelty's sake. He was not saying that kindness or forgiveness should be erased from our lives. What he was showing is something far darker and far more practical. If your survival depends on the kindness of others, then your survival does not belong to you. You are living at their mercy, and that is not power. It is bondage. Think about your own life for a moment. How often do you find yourself waiting for others to approve, to forgive, to accept, to give you another chance? Every time you wait, you are putting the weight of your future into someone else's hands. That may feel safe in the moment, but safety built on mercy is an illusion. All it takes is one change of heart, one turn of mood, one moment where they decide not to be merciful, and everything you counted on vanishes. Machiavelli's truth is simple but brutal. If you want real strength, don't wait for others to spare you. Don't live in fear of their rejection. Don't hope endlessly for their forgiveness. Instead, build your own strength so you never need to beg. Build it in your choices, in your boundaries, in your will. Strength that is yours cannot be taken away by someone else's decision. Strength that belongs to you cannot be flipped, like mercy can. It is the one thing that makes you untouchable. Mercy is soft. Respect is solid. Mercy may win you temporary comfort, but respect earns you lasting security. Mercy may make people feel sorry for you, but respect makes them think twice before crossing you. And here is the truth you need to hear. Pity is cheap. Respect is priceless. Do not mistake popularity for power. People may smile at you, they may forgive you, they may spare you again and again, but all of that mercy does not mean they respect you. In fact, it means the opposite. They see you as too weak to stand alone. Machiavelli knew that respect doesn't always make you popular, but it makes you powerful. And in the game of life, power will carry you farther than popularity ever will. So stop living at their mercy. Stop building your life on pity. Instead, choose the harder path, the path of sovereignty, strength, and respect. It may not make you loved by all, but it'll make you unshakable. That is the dark lesson Machiavelli wanted us to see. If you found this lesson valuable, if you see now why mercy can be a chain instead of a gift, then take a moment to like this video. It helps us bring you more of these powerful truths. And if you want to keep learning, if you want to uncover more of Machiavelli's hidden wisdom and apply it in your own life, then subscribe to our channel, Psych Algorithm. Every week we bring you deeper insights into power, strategy, and survival lessons that most people ignore, but that you can use to rise above the rest. Don't just live at the mercy of others. Take the step. Claim your strength. Hit that subscribe button. And together, let's keep uncovering the truths that make you not just another face in the thode, but someone respected, someone powerful, someone who cannot be ignored.